Afternoon, everybody. Uneducated Economist here. Before I get started on this video, I want to let everybody know that there has been a lot of people spamming in the comments. There's pretty much, I have, over the last couple of weeks, had a few people impersonating my channel. They have my thumbnail, my name. They are commenting for you to check out some trading platform or whatever. I will never, ever recommend that you go and check out somebody's trading platform on Telegram or WhatsApp or anything else. Okay, just to let you know that if you see the Uneducated Economist suggesting some broker in the comments section, it is not me. All right, I do not and will not ever spam in the comments. So if you see my name come up there and it doesn't look like it's from me, it's because I'm being impersonated. Go and check out that channel and you will see that they are using my name and my image, but it is not my channel. So just beware of that. It has taken place a lot. I must have deleted 100 comments this morning. I spent over an hour just searching through the comments. I couldn't even read them. That's usually what I do in the morning is I get up, I get coffee, I read through the comments, I check out some news articles, and this morning I spent the entire morning deleting comments. It was so frustrating. But on a little bit brighter note, and I forgot to mention this to you guys, I did put it in the community page of the channel, but I forgot to mention it in a video, and so I thought I'd do this now. Doug Casey has a channel called Doug Casey Takes, and Matthew Smith is the person who's like in the host of the show, and he pretty much interviews Doug Casey and has Doug talking about the different things that are going on in the economy, getting his perspective on things. Pretty good channel. If you're not familiar with Doug Casey, he's a really very knowledgeable money man, very well known in the community. So yeah, Doug Casey's up there. Neat thing about that channel is the other day that they were talking, and Matthew asked Doug who his favorite economist was, or what his favorite, what his type of economist would be his favorite. And they got to talking a little bit about it, and my channel, The Uneducated Economist, came up in their conversation. I loved it. I just love it. Now Peter Schiff and Doug Casey know who I am. Well, hopefully anyhow. But yeah, I'm making attention out there, and that is really cool, and very good of Matthew Smith to do that, to give me that shout out on his channel like that. So I really appreciate it, and I thought I would return the favor. I will leave a link down in the description for that for you guys. I would hope you all check it out and let them know that the Uneducated Economist sent you there. So wanted to talk a little bit about what Jerome Powell was saying yesterday about how they may need to extend these lending facilities. Surprise, surprise. Now, when they introduced these lending facilities back when the economy started turning down and all the stimulus packages came out, they pretty much introduced a lending facility to cover or to backstop every single corner of the financial markets out there. If you got a credit card debt, car loan, house loan, doesn't matter. If there is a debt to be had out there, it gets securitized and somebody will go out there and buy it. And the Federal Reserve has pretty much created a lending facility to be the backstop of all that debt out there. So if somebody ever goes out to sell credit card debt, because if you're not familiar on how a lot of this debt works, a lot of it gets securitized, meaning that if you take out a credit card debt along with everybody else's credit card debt, well, not everybody, but a bunch of other people's, they will take that debt, they'll put it into a box and sell that box off and call it a security, all right? And that security can be sold or, held onto or whatever. And as you pay your credit card off, the investor gets paid back, the principal plus the interest that you pay on top of it. If you all of a sudden don't have anybody out there as far as an investor who's willing to buy those securities, well, then the price of the security starts to drop, the interest rates start to go up until they can attract an investor. So as long as there's somebody out there willing to buy that credit card debt or that car loan debt or that house loan debt or that treasury debt or anybody else's debt out there, then you can keep the interest rates low. And that's the goal of the Federal Reserve with these lending facilities. Now, back when they introduced them, they said, okay, these things are only temporary. We're going to use them to bridge over the recession. And, this is what's going to be, helping out households and businesses is by introducing these lending facilities and having them there. Some of them have barely been touched, like the business lending facility, which basically was going to go to, small and mid-sized businesses, has barely been touched. I mean, the amount of people who are willing to go out there and take out a business loan that's being backstopped by the Federal Reserve from these lending facilities is almost nil. I mean, if you are a business that is suffering and you need money, right now to take out a loan is pretty much like shooting yourself in the foot, because there's no way you're going to be able to pay the loan back, and you're just pretty much going to, run your business right into the ground if you try and do something like that. Now, there is those bridge loans, like if you can just get through a certain amount of time, and then when you get over that, you can start, progressing along with your business again. But right now, if you were to take out a loan and then we go into a lockdown, you're screwed. And I know of at least 8 restaurants, because Oregon's only going to be shut down for 2 weeks. They're not going to even do takeout. They're done. They're shutting down for 2 weeks. What if they don't open in 2 weeks? Then what are you going to do? Are you shut down permanently after that point? Makes me think about this. So these lending facilities, when they introduced them, they said, okay, we're going to do this until September. And then that's it. We'll have to close these facilities down. But about halfway to September, back in the summer, they realized that it's going to have to go beyond September. And they said, okay, well, we're going to run this until December. And now they're saying, well, you know what? We might have to extend these lending facilities out there a little bit longer. And I can tell you right now, there is nothing more permanent than a temporary government program. And this is definitely one that I feel is probably going to end up being there for years to come, if not permanently now. Because the moment that you take these lending facilities away, and you don't have the Federal Reserve backstopping all that debt, those investors out there aren't going to feel real comfortable about taking on corporate debt or anybody else. I mean, that was the whole point of these lending facilities, was to convince the investors that the Federal Reserve will be there. That's why, when everybody said that the Federal Reserve is buying corporate debt, no, they're not. They're lending money to this facility, to these special purpose vehicles. Sorry, I'm having a hard time talking today. I guess I had too much coffee. They lend money to a special purpose vehicle, and those special purpose vehicles then in turn go and buy the corporate debt, and they're buying them inside of ETFs. So a lot of these ETFs have a broad spectrum of corporate debt inside of them. And some of that corporate debt that's in these ETFs are the debt of the big banks, which is something that these lending facilities was not meant to lend to, was not to go to these big banks. It's like a bailout of the big banks, but yet somehow through these lending facilities and the ETFs, the Federal Reserve has managed to buy the debt of those big banks through those lending facilities. It's scary. It's sickening what's happening out there. And so, like I said, they said that they were going to end these things in December, and Jerome Powell is saying, no, things don't look good enough to end them in December. We're going to have to continue on for probably ever. All right. Uneducated Economist, you guys let me know.